Hey guys, I want to give you a quick tutorial on how to do this assignment called Self-Family Community Collage Cubes made in Canva. So you'll see the assignment in Google Classroom. You're going to take the idea that we planned out, four ideas, things about self, which is yourself, four things about family, your family, and four things about community, your community. And we're going to create three separate 3D cubes. We're going to do this in Canva. We're going to collaborate on how we're going to string them together and display them next week in class. So start thinking, do some brainstorming as to what this display could look like. This is a very basic introduction to Canva and Canva templates and how to download the PNGs to turn them in, which actually we will be doing in class together so that you do it correctly and then we can print it right then and there. So a couple resources that you have. You've got the project template, which is down here, which we'll click on in just a moment. I've added a few images of some installation ideas. If you want to add images as private comments or class comments, you can do that too, so we can discuss them as a whole company. So your action items, we're going to use the template provided. We're going to add images to the photo frames that represent self, family, and community. I've simplified this collage into 4 basic images in photo frames that I've prepared for you. But you can add other images on top of the basic 4 and do background remover and those things if you want to kind of collage your small squares. So we're going to get this done this week while you guys are at home. You are going to be prepared to do a peer review when, oops, I need to sign in. You need to do a peer review and do final touches so that we can also go over how to download the PNGs when we get back. And also how to turn in the PNGs so I can see your digital work here. We'll also go over how to download and print to the laser printer that we have in class. Then we're going to cut our cubes out. We're going to stitch some string through them, ending on the corners, and so that we can tie them together before we fold and glue the cubes together. And then we're going to make a collaborative art piece in the Commons by the end of the week. Very, very simple. I think you can get this done. It should not take very long. So, thanks for sitting through the overview. Let's go. Yay! All right, I'm going to click on this Canva template, okay? It's going to say just a moment. It might have a picture of the template, but when I link the templates in, it usually just says just a moment. Go ahead and click on it. You can see it's a Canva template. It's going to open up Canva, okay? It's going to either open in a new tab or it might, if you have the app installed, open into its own little window. But everyone's going to see this. You have to scroll down, probably, to find where it says View Template. Mine also says Edit Template because I made the template. Yours says View Template. Click on View Template. It might have already asked you to sign in to Canva. Sign in to Canva with your @battlegroundps.org account and your computer password if it asks. Or in Canva, you can click sign in with Google. So it's going to say open an editor. I'm going to say, yes, I want to open an editor. I can see right here, I am in my River Home Link Premier Canva account. So it's going to open an editor. And here you will see the template. In Canva, you can have multiple pages within the same document. So if you scroll down, you'll see I have kind of an introduction page here. If you scroll down, this page is titled Self Collage Cube. This one is Family Collage Cube. And this last one following along is Community Collage Cube. You can see at the end, This is going to be a flat printed piece of paper that's going to be letter size that we're going to end up cutting and folding and putting together. Okay, so do not make anything on this page. I should just go ahead and lock that page. You can't touch this. Sorry. So then I'm going to go down to self collage page. If you look at these photo frames, this is where I can drag and drop a photo into this space and it's going to fill the space for me. So over here on the left, I've got this main menu. If I click on elements, I've got lots of options in Canva that are really, really great. We are not doing any videos because this is a printed project, but you do have those animated GIFs as well. There is AI image generator. Let's stay away from that right now. Actually, you know what? Play with that if you want. If you really need a hippo dancing, drinking coffee, see what the AI image generator could do. But most of the time I will go up here. So say if I was looking for, one of the things that helps, or is one of my favorite things for self is sushi. So if I type in sushi, then I'm going to get graphics, photos. Again, we're not using videos. We're not adding audio, but you can see how powerful Canva can be. I want to see all of the photos. So I'm going to click see all. And I'm going to pick a photo that I think would fit nicely into this box. And it's not always the first one, but I like a lot of sushi. And this is my favorite kind of sushi. Here, nigiri. So I'm gonna just drag, and if you notice, it's gonna want to fill the whole thing. Whichever box it's over, it's going to try to fill that box. So I'm just gonna start down here, fill that box with sushi. If it doesn't place it inside this square the way that you want it, if you double click, it opens up the placement. Like, how do you want this placed in here? And I can move it up and down. I can use my corner dots. I can make it bigger, maybe, if it will allow me. Yep, I can make it bigger. I can't make it smaller because it needs to fill that frame. And this is because I'm using a photo frame. But I really like this row here, and I like the diagonal of that. Click outside that area, and it will lock it back down. So simple enough. I did sushi. Next thing, I like photography. So I type photography. If it's not giving you photos, and if you can look, I've got graphics, photos. We are kind of looking at photography. So I'm looking for those type of things. If it's not giving what I want, then you need to rethink your search term. Like, what image in my head am I thinking of when I think of photography? Like, I'm actually thinking of a camera. So if I type in camera, oh, look, this is a camera that I like. So if it has a little like EDU premium, we have that plan. It is a perk. If I come over here, because the photo frame is oriented in the right direction, I can just drop that camera onto that space. Say I also, like with the camera, I also wanted to put like a star, because stars are cool. I could go and drag some sparkle. Oh, can I? I cannot, because it's a photo frame. It's going to take over. I can drop it out here. Nope, I can't move it over. That's the problem with photo frames. So maybe we don't collage. Ooh, if I keep it off of here, because I'm going to cut some off. That's the trick you're going to have to do. Don't fill the photo frame. Don't move your mouse on top. If you want to add or collage, you have to keep your mouse off the photo frame. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if I could do that with a colored box too. So if I ever wanted a Oh, I don't think a background's going to work. I'll show you backgrounds over here when I get to there. Okay, so I'll fill the space. Don't worry, I'm going to cut this off. It's okay if it prints, but I like my little sparkle. All right, so I'll fill these two boxes. These boxes here, these instructions give you a hint as to what goes here. It says add a text box to the above space. Make the word self fill the space well. Choose a color and a font you like. All right, text box. So under elements, you have text. In Canva, always look for the purple button. If you're like, I don't know what to click the purple button. It says add a text box. It's going to add a text box. It happens to add it to the very bottom here. And the left side, this little dot changes the size of your font or your text and your font. The font is what the text looks like. This side lever changes the shape of the text box. This little move button. Oh no, where'd you go? Come back. There is a back button up here. Undo. Undo. Undo is up here. Redo is up here. The shortcut is Control or Command Z. Matters on if you're on a PC or a Mac, or Shift Control or Command Z. That is pretty standard in Photoshop as well. So I think what we just saw was that sometimes if you put something way out here, it's going to delete it. So make sure to stay on your paper. A tip is that you need to use oh no, come back. There it is. You need to use the zoom tool sometimes. So the zoom slider is down here on the bottom. The shortcut is Command or Control plus or Command or Control minus on your keyboard. If I am on my document, I can move around the inside of my document using these sliders on the side, or I'm on a laptop, so a 2-finger touch, and I'm not sure with a mouse, but you let me know in the comments. So this is the move. This is the rotate. I want this to fit really well in this box. So I can rotate it. Notice it tells me how much it is rotating. So I'll rotate it 90 degrees just because I want. I'm going to make the text box fit. And then up here, I've got all my options. So this is the font. So there are lots of fonts to choose from to be able to make the word self fit in a nice way and look good. This is the size. I can go ahead and, if I want, double click and then write self. It can be all capitals or just a capital S. Now I can make that fit the space. When we say fit the space, we don't want it to go all the way to the edge. There's something called white space that we leave. We leave a little bit of space around the edge, the top, and the bottom. So I have self here. Click off the box. Click back on the box so that then I can move it. So this is my self box. Okay, it doesn't have to, I can rotate it if I want. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I can change the color of this. I can choose from photo colors, like from the photos that I've added. I can choose from any color palette. If I want a specific color, I can click this rainbow, add new color, choose something off of this rainbow hue. Hue is another name for color. These are tints over here. These are shades down here. This is the pure hue or the pure color over here. You want something that's going to stand out and not blend in. So I'll choose that. There are, let's see, what else is there? alignment. So like left justified, right justified, centered. I'm going to keep mine in the center. This is advanced settings. We'll get into that later when we are actually like typing paragraph text, like later in another project. Text effects are kind of fun. You can add outlines. You can add neon glow. You can only add one text effect at a time. So there is a trick if you wanted a outline and a glow. I could do the outline. I'm going to change the outline color to yellow. I can change the thickness of the outline. So I can have an outline here, but if I also want it to glow, here's the trick. I have to have two text layers. So I've got this. If I duplicate it, I'm going to set it right on top of itself. Self on, never mind. Then I can add a glow, right? It is glowing in the color that the text is. That's all. I can't choose a different glow, but that's fine. Oh, I can choose, say I want it to glow pink. Okay, I've lost my blue, but check it out. This is self. I need to put this behind the other text. So this little arrow will close down that menu. When I'm talking about relayering my objects, I have a few options. I've got this position button here, which is going to open my position menu. I can either align things or I can arrange things to go forward and backwards in the page. I also have layers. Layers is where I want you to start playing because this is really training us to do Photoshop. I have layers here. I can drag those layers into the order I want. What's on top is in the front. What's on bottom is in the back. So that is how I am going to get two text effects if I want. So I can get to position by clicking on this menu here. I can also right click, go to layer, and I can either show me the layers or I can go front and back, changing the order of the layers right there on my screen. So show layers, X to close that out. If I have show layers picked, oops, that's the wrong one. Show layers. Oh, never mind. I was just trying to show you that sometimes this box, I think it's when like Elements is open, this box gets kind of short and you can't see position. You have to click on the three little dots here to go to position. All right, so if I wanted to add a color behind here, like to get a fill, if you just go Elements, go back to All, get rid of your star word up here, you can find shapes. So I can add a shape. It's going to add it to the middle. Don't type inside your shapes. If you notice, there was a little box that said I could type in there, or a little blinking cursor. Use the text box. But now I can add a colorful shape. I can change the color of my shape up here. If I wanted to, I'm kind of digging that yellow. And I can outline it. I can click line. I can add a line, make it thicker. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Should I make it pink? And then nope, that's the square. The square is yellow. That means the stroke, now that I made a stroke, which is a line, I can make the stroke color whatever color I want. Ooh, all right. So I've got this box here. This is self. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I can design it differently. In this text box, I'm going to put my full name. Okay, fill the space well, choose a color you like, full name. I would write Boss Broyles, and you can write your name on there. Okay, then, ta-da, that's my self collage box. This has saved. If you feel like you have shoddy Wi-Fi, go ahead and click File Save, and then you're like, yes, it is saved. It's already called Copy of 3D Collage Box because I titled it for you. You're welcome. And then I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to do family, but Bing, text box, scroll down to community, but Bing, text box, and then I am done for now. Okay. What I need to do is I need to make sure that I have this saved. Done. It's going to save itself. Save yourself. But just to make sure. And then when we get back into class, I'm going to show you how to click share and how we turn things in by links, but so that I can also see them. Like I need to see it. So anyone from, we'll get into it, but you're going to, if you ever turn in a link, you have to change the access so I can see it. And then I'm going to download the PNGs for printing. We don't print PDFs. Blah. That's for like Word documents. How we print PNGs and how we're going to print not all the pages because that's silly. We don't need to print page 1. And we click done. We will do this in class together. But just so you know, it's in this video. I'm going to download the PNGs and then I can upload those PNGs to Google Classroom. But see, here's where it is. Because we downloaded 3 pages at a time, it turns into a zip file. This is why we have to talk about it in class. A zip file is a bunch of files packaged together, all zipped up together. We have to unzip that zipper to be able to turn in the PNGs so I can see them separately. So again, we will talk about it. On my Mac, all I have to do is click on them. On the PC, you have to do other things to unzip them. It's just a couple clicks. And then now I have a folder. There's my boxes. I can go into Google Classroom. On yours, it looks different. I can turn in those PNGs. Okay, again, we're doing this in class. So, but just so you know, that's how we get PNGs up into Google Classroom. And we also are going to have them on your computer so that we can print them. If you're on a Chromebook, you'll turn them in so I can print them. And then blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to finish all these things. So thanks for watching my video. Yay, that was a lot of stuff. But Canva's cool. We like Canva. And enjoy your week. I will see you when you get back. Email me if you have any questions. And I look forward to hanging out with your parents. I've got some really cool things to talk to them about. And then, yeah, okay, bye. End.